Hey guys, welcome to the Blockchain Bandits Podcast episode 9. We're back after the Christmas break, so Happy New Year guys. Hope you had a great New Year. Hope 2018 is looking good for you so far. So you're here with me, Jeff.
Myself, Courtney.
And me, Andy.
And yeah, we're going to talk about a few things today. We're going to be speaking about just what happened over the Christmas period, talking about people in it in the cryptocurrency space for the money versus people in it for the belief in the tech. Also, does better tech equal higher value or greater potential for growth? And also, we'll be speaking about the importance of a exit plan or exit strategy. So yeah, firstly, the Christmas break. It wasn't even that long. How long since the last podcast? Like 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, about 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah, and so much has happened in that short time. Like, Bitcoin basically started crashing a little bit, and Ripple has shot up like so much. There's loads and loads of like little alts here and there. These penny alts like basically shooting up. Tron was one of them. Like everyone, there's so much happened. I don't even know where to start. But yeah, we can speak about Ripple. Ripple, obviously, well, if you don't know what Ripple is, it's a cryptocurrency. It's one of the cryptocurrencies that isn't fully decentralized, and it's backed by banks. So a lot of people refer to it as a bank coin, and it also has really, really quick transaction times. So that's one of the main benefits of it. Obviously, the downside is that it's not decentralized, but it's been doing really well, and part of that is because it has these links with the banks, and people trust banks already. Well, because they're used to banks. So yeah, it's just it's like the bridge. It's bridging the gap between traditional banking and cryptocurrencies for a lot of people. And a lot of people new to the space. Also, we had that that Coinbase rumor, didn't we?
Yeah.
People thought it was going to end up on Ripple, end up on Coinbase, but obviously, news came out. The CEO of Coinbase said that's not happening, and then there was a drop. But we'll be speaking about that a bit more. Do you guys have anything to say?
Well, in terms of Ripple and kind of what happened to all the cryptos, what do you guys actually think? Do you think that all the coins dropped? Was that more of a case of people kind of feared that in the new year maybe people will drop out and they just decide to sell, and that's why they all dropped so quickly? And then in the same light, did Ripple only survive because of the bank supporting it?
You know what? I'm gonna say it's a bit of both, right? Because obviously with the year closing up, and like. We all understand that cryptocurrency markets is 24-hour, 365. It's always open, unlike other markets. People are still selling off taking closing their positions, taking profit. Again, smart to do, and basically leaving the market. However, in terms of Ripple, I think it just hit some momentum, and a lot of people who are still in the market just jumped onto Ripple because they saw Ripple was doing really well. It's kind of like you see a few weeks back when Bitcoin was doing really well, or when we've all seen it when a particular coin just does really, really well, and you see a lot of money flood into it. The way you can just keep account of that is just watch the market's volume increase, because that's new money going into the market every hour. It's so yeah, I would say it was a bit of both.
I'd say that as well. I'd also say the drop probably in the other alts was a lot to do with just profit taking, and then obviously panic selling, because obviously people take profit over Christmas. People see price dropping a bit and they go, oh crap, I need to sell because the price is dropping. Especially those who bought at the top, which are the newbies. And the newbies are the ones that are jumping into Ripple mostly, I think.
Yeah.
Most people who are new to it, and they ask me questions like on Twitter and just in conversations and stuff. Ripple is the one that they've got their eye on, the one they said they've heard about, and the one they actually want to invest in. Mainly because obviously Ripple has his backing by banks before, like I said, it's bridging the gap, and then also see the transaction speeds. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's some marketing out there as well. They seem to be in the newspapers and articles a lot. I'm sure they've done like some sponsored posts on like Cointelegraph and things like that. So Ripple's just out there. It's got their name out there, and obviously people feel like it's going to do well because of, you know, the transaction speeds and things like that. And it's relatively, and because of it, the rumor of it going on Coinbase, people thought, you know, it's going to be easy to buy now, and obviously that would increase the price. So it's just a combination of different things, really.
And obviously what happened with the Coinbase situation as well, like there was a lot of rumors that it was going to enter Coinbase, the broker. However, then they released the email not too long ago, just about a week ago, saying they weren't going to do it. Ripple did drop slightly, but nothing too noticeable. It's just following the retracement, really. So, I mean, like, it seems okay. Yeah. But, I mean, that's another topic to discuss as well. Like, we had a small chat about it on the phone, didn't we? Yeah. About what happened with Coinbase.
We did. And it's like one of the reasons why we felt like they dropped it is because of the whole Bitcoin Cash situation. Yeah. So, and they didn't really want the SEC on their case, you know, again with another situation like that, for, you know, being looked into for insider trading and those sorts of things. So they couldn't. So what happened with the Bitcoin Cash situation, in case you're not familiar with it, is out of nowhere, basically Coinbase put Bitcoin Cash onto their platform and allowed people to buy it. And so obviously that shot the price of Bitcoin Cash up a little bit. Yeah. And, you know, people started thinking, okay, why didn't you tell us it was like some sort of insider trading? You know, you wanted to buy it for cheap and then obviously bring it onto your platform and then let the price go up, and obviously you've made money. Yeah. So obviously they didn't want the same situation with Ripple. Yeah.
They made it obvious. Sorry, Jeff. Like they made it obvious in the sense that like they a few hours before. Yeah. Bitcoin Cash was being bought everywhere. Yeah. And Coinbase's top guys knew that people who were working for Coinbase were buying up Bitcoin Cash, and they were leaking that information that it was going to be put on Coinbase any second. Yeah. And they had to stop trading in Bitcoin Cash. It was a complete mess.
It was a mess, yeah.
But again, just as Jeff said, I think they did the smarter thing, not dealing with the Ripple thing right now. Let the dust settle a bit, because they know that there's people inside Coinbase who are trying to make profit off like other people, because they have this information and other people don't, and they're profiting. And that's like in financial markets, that's not allowed. Illegal. That's illegal.
You can go to prison for that. So yeah. But obviously with cryptocurrencies, the regulation system is not exactly the same, so people are going to take advantage of it.
They want to be okay with the FCC, and they want to be cool with the regulators, which are going to come. Yeah. They're it's going to happen. And they want to be one of the people who are complying. So that's why they've not done it, I believe. Maybe they're going to wait a bit. Maybe people know that. Maybe people know that it's going to go on. The code's there, maybe. They're just waiting for the dust to settle. And maybe that's why Ripple is still going strong.
Exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point, because really you'd expect, if it was being bought into by the public, because of this anticipation of it going on Coinbase, you'd expect the opposite thing to happen when they announced they weren't going on Coinbase. But the fall has not been as strong as the rise was, basically. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the Ripple situation. For now, it's at a steady rate, and we'll see how it progresses. Other than that, there have been other coins like Tron, that's coming to picture. Rayblox, which is in the picture now. Again, you see a lot of people talking about it now. A few others as well, and there was a lot happened, but yeah, there was
Nem, one of your
Nem's gone shooting up. One that I've mentioned before. It's in the top 5 cryptocurrencies for 2018 video. I really like it a lot. It's doing quite well at the moment.
There's been a massive trend in the whole small caps. Like basically, your coins which are just a few cents to the dollar. Yeah. Really. So again, CRYPTOCURRENCIES, another one, did really well. Yeah. Dentacoin has gone up again 700%. But again, like we were discussing this, and we were saying, okay, well, why are these very small ICOs, like these one coin is maybe a few satoshis, why is it so like why is it going up so much? And we were discussing it how as let's say a coin is 10 satoshis, it going up just 5 satoshis more to 15 is it's that's a whole 50%. But yeah, like that's something people should take into account.
Yeah, it's true. You gotta definitely note that. There's been a lot of you gotta also be careful with these small caps coins, because a lot of them tend to be pump and dumps. Like, a lot of people have been pumping up these small caps coins and then dumping them, and obviously people are just left holding the bag and feeling sad, feeling just hoping that it'll go out, or maybe selling at a loss. So yeah, you need to be careful with these small caps. Some of them might have potential long term as well. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, really, because we're hearing a lot of stories now about, you know, pump and dumps, and there's pump and dump groups as well, which are like scam groups. They tell people they're gonna pump a certain coin together, and they're really not. You got to think about it this way: these pump and dump groups, the people in these groups, do they really have the capital to pump the market? You know, they it's very unlikely that they do. So yeah, just stay away from that. There's been a whole load of developments in the crypto space, and over the Christmas period, I've seen a whole load of like scams come about. I saw an advert on Instagram the other day, actually.
Yeah.
It was a guy standing in front of a sports car in front of a mansion, holding two like coins, you know, like those gold bitcoins, in his hand, and he was just talking about how he can teach people how to make money off of cryptocurrencies, but they don't need knowledge of the technology or trading. I don't know how that's gonna work, but yeah, I suspect a lot of people probably fell for that, just for the fact that he was standing in front of a mansion and a sports car.
I think you find, like, at the end of like last year, because of, you know, Bitcoin rising to such a high price, and pretty much most people have actually heard of Bitcoin if they don't actually know what the tech is or anything about the tech or anything like that. They know what Bitcoin is. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, yeah, everybody's heard of Bitcoin. And, you know, you got to think about it this way: scam artists and criminals are now going to try and jump into the space themselves and try to scam people and make money. It's just going to happen.
That's just what happens. If there's money somewhere, that all the vultures will come around. They'll start circling, and they'll try and find a way to make money. We recently found out about one of the scams with the Ledger wallet. Someone's been selling it on eBay, and they've been using the backup phrases, like fake backup phrases, to get into people's accounts and steal people's money. And poor guy, lost like 25 grand worth of coins, and apparently he's not been able to eat or sleep for several days because of the stress. So it's serious business. Like, you need to be careful. If you're gonna buy a Ledger wallet, make sure you do it directly through their website, because that's the safest place for you to get it. Make sure it is actually their website when you go in it. Make sure it says ledgerwallet.com at the top. It's their actual website. It's secure and whatnot, and it's not just a clone or something. So yeah, no, that. What else happened over the Christmas period?
The only thing I can really think of off the top of my head, because obviously this market moves so fast, it's like dog years. But Bitcoin, obviously, as we know, it did hit about a high of about 18 grand, and then 19 grand, and it's dropped to it dropped to its lowest at about 12 grand USD. This was on the 23rd, so just before Christmas. And then since then, it's been going sideways, and since the 1st, it's actually shot up. So it shot up from 12 to 13 grand to about 6 grand, 17 grand, sorry. 16, 17 grand, sorry. So Bitcoin has been doing pretty well, like in terms of like the alts doing very well. Like, again, this is just speculation, but we feel that like Bitcoin is still going to do well in 2018. It's just not gonna. It's not done its day yet.
No, not at all. It's just a pullback. People, I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's just, the cryptocurrency haters, people who aren't fans of decentralization, banks, putting out new like news about every little drop in Bitcoin. Oh my God, it's the end of Bitcoin. We told you about this Bitcoin thing, blah blah blah. We told you it was gonna pop, blah blah blah. But it's just a pullback. Like, they exaggerate every single pullback that happens in the cryptocurrency market to make it seem like it's some sort of major financial crisis. But it really isn't. Like,
It really isn't.
it's just a minor pullback, minor drop in price, just to basically, it's just the people taking profit, and that's just how the markets work.
It's
Really.
a lot of FUD, isn't it?
Yeah,
With
it's a
fear,
lot of FUD.
uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One thing though, yeah, obviously, like, Bitcoin did its price changes, and alt's doing super well. It's one thing it has really done is affected Bitcoin's dominance in the cryptocurrency market,
it has,
and that's big. Like, it's so at one point it was about over 60% just a month ago, and now it's at its lowest near its lowest at about 33%, 34% of dominance of the market. And like, since then, like, Ethereum's done well. Like, Ripple was amazing and just jumped over Ethereum for second place. Congrats for that.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, yeah, shout out to Valkyrie. And yeah, like, again, the alts have just done really well. Like, a lot of money has flooded into alts. Again, it's been a long time since Bitcoin's dominance has been this low. But personally, I could see it recovering a bit.
Yeah, I can see it recovering as well. But one of the problems with Bitcoin that some people may not be aware of, that there's a lot of Bitcoin transactions that are just lost in the network because the network is so...
Yeah.
It's kind of rubbish, it's kind of rubbish. But at the same time, people might be might still invest in Bitcoin because, they're seeing price rise and they can make money, which basically takes us onto our next subject. People in cryptocurrency space for the money versus people in it for the tech. Is it better to be on one side or the other? Maybe a bit of both. What do you guys think?
I think everybody that's in the market, they naturally, they're in it for those two reasons, right? And they either decide to themselves they're going to move across the market because of the coin, the price, the value, or because of the actual tech behind it. There's some people that really, really love the tech. If you love Ethereum, you're going to put into Ethereum, hold there. And it kind of also impacts your kind of... how you buy and sell, or where you're gonna put your money, how you trade. Because naturally, if you love Ethereum, you're gonna hold. You're gonna keep your money in Ethereum for a long time because one, it's gonna do well in the future. Two, you love it, so you don't mind if you lose a bit on it. You might be like, do you know what? Doesn't matter. I love the tech. I want it to do well. And you're gonna keep yourself there. Same way. If you're just going in for the coin, you're just going to look for those percentage changes. You're going to be like, you know what, that small little ICO there, 60% change is going up. I know it's going to keep going up. I'm putting my money there. And that's kind of how you will think about trading. And that's how I see it, really.
Yeah, I agree. To be honest, there's people in it that are just in it for the money. And I think those people are more likely to lose money.
Yeah.
Because... like Courtney said, if you're in an investment, if you're in a trade, you're holding some coins and the value's going up, and then for some reason it goes down again, and then you decide, I'm going to cut my losses, because you have no reason to hold on to it, because your incentive is gone, the money is not there anymore. And because you don't know about the tech, you don't care about the tech, you just cut it off and you decide, I'm going to cut my losses, take money out. Little do you know, long term, that could give you profit. It could go up another 10, 20, 30, 50, 200% and make you profit, because long term the tech has value. Because so you can miss out that way. Whereas if you like the tech, you're involved in looking into the tech, seeing how it's developing, you feel passionately about it, you can actually, it can help you basically trade, especially if you're long-term trading as well, because obviously it varies. If you're short-term trading, maybe looking into the tech too much isn't actually that big of a deal. But you know, in the end, at the end of the day, I think it's always, you should always be informed on any investment you're making. So if you're just in it because you've seen it's making this amount of money, and you know you've read one article about it, that's to me that's not enough. But on the other hand, there is a downside to being in love with the tech and being fascinated about the tech. You could end up just bag holding,
Yeah.
because you believe in the tech so much, but it's not going anywhere, and you're basically blinded by your own emotion, blinded by your own faith in it, and you'll end up making a bad investment. So you got to get a balance, I believe.
Yeah. That's a really good point, actually. Yeah, it's definitely a bit of both. But if you were to ask me, who, like, say if people were 50-50, if you had the choice to be more or less of in the tech or in the money, people who are definitely in the tech make a lot more money.
Yeah.
Simply because, let's just talk about Bitcoin a few years ago. The technology behind it and its use cases were game changing, and people were like, "This is positive. This can do really well." Now, when you have a coin or ICO, and a lot of people believe the same thing, that's going to generate money, because a lot of people believe in it and invest in it. They don't want to sell, they want to hold it, and because they know it can be the future. And we've all a lot of the ICOs which we invest in, we really believe in it, because we've read the white papers. We say, you know what, this is worth it, like, and we hold it and we make more profit. We make better percentages more often than not, than chasing 40% percentages in one day, not understanding the technology, because that's when you can easily get a bit in the ass.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, you made a good point about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is only at the stage where it is now because of people believing in the tech. It's only like all these millionaires and whatnot you hear about Bitcoin. Yeah, these guys that bought low and got to the top. It's only here because of those people. They made all their money because they believed in the tech. But at the end of the day, you know, right now Bitcoin's tech is not up to scratch. But really, that has that really affected its price? And that brings us to our next topic: is better tech actually, does that actually mean better value or greater potential for growth? You know what, it'd be easy to say, yes, it does, but it's not, as we've seen and as we can see with Bitcoin.
It's not so black and white.
It's not so black and white, not at all. Some coins might have the greatest tech, but because they don't have the marketing behind them, maybe, or they're just, I don't know, they don't get the right partnerships and things like that, they could just be really, really undervalued, which can be good for an investor. Maybe you can get it and hope that maybe the right moves can be made, but at the end of the day, you can't guarantee that. Whereas there might be something that's tech isn't even that great. You know, for example, Bitcoin, there's so many transactions lost in the network. It's slow. The fees are incredibly high. They're just ridiculous. And then you get something that is completely feeless. It's really, really quick. And it won't be doing as well. Or you could get something that isn't even feeless, but just has lower fees and has really quick transactions, very easy to use. And it's nowhere near as valued as much as the others. But at the end of the day, I don't think you should just ignore tech like we were saying before. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think it's all market psychology, and I think this is actually a really big topic. We could spend a lot of time on this because there's so many different aspects. But I would like to just focus on a couple. I'll say fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You know, if you've got money in Bitcoin, you feel like, it's going to go up because everyone knows about Bitcoin, everyone's getting involved, you want to be a part of it, right? That's also but you know, at the end of the day, if you look at another coin, you don't really think to yourself, that coin, it's a small little ICO, it might have better tech, but it's small, like nobody might even put any money into it, so how am I going to make money out of it? So the value in that sense, you might say it's never going to go up, so you most likely won't invest, and that's one thing. But like in terms of better tech, personally, I feel like you should go for better tech, because I think over a long period of time, there's a better chance of it having a better, higher value. That being said, though, again, you kind of go back to the first point and you kind of say to yourself, but are we sure? And then I think finally on that point really is the fact, it's also how many coins actually in that particular ICO. If there's loads of coins, the value is going to take a long time for it to go up. And then that's just kind of, again, another kind of avenue which we could talk about for ages.
Yeah. In terms of like the better tech, like we all know for a fact that Bitcoin has not got the best tech just because it's the highest value. Like I think we discussed it before, but it's really down to branding and who knows about it. It's basically like scope. So Bitcoin is the most popular thing out there.
Yeah.
And and Ethereum and Ripple are also up there because their names are pretty much everywhere.
Yep.
A big factor is how many exchanges are they on?
That's true.
Because it has the most scope for people who can trade it. I think one of the example which a lot of people might understand is the difference between Ripple and Stellar.
Yeah.
Now, Ripple and Ripple and Stellar were made by the same people. Ripple was made first by and then the same guy who made Ripple sold it off. And he made Stellar, to be better and more flexible than Ripple. Where Ripple was just for financial institutions, Stellar had better tech, and it was for everything.
Yeah.
Like all kind of transactions.
And it's more decentralized.
And it's more exactly. It's more decentralized. So again, it's better in my opinion in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
However, Ripple were on more exchanges. It had better branding. It had more it had backing by banks.
Yeah.
It had more money into as advertising. Stellar did not, and that's a big difference.
Yeah,
it's a big difference.
It makes a big difference because at the end of the day, like we always say, this market is made. It runs on people. It doesn't run on money. It runs on people, and people control everything. And if people are aware of something, then that's what they're going to look to. If they're not aware of anything, how are they possibly going to get into it? So it's just one of those things, like the better tech could just be completely ignored at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I just had a thought, and it's like, when you think about it, if you've got really great tech but no one uses it, like the community doesn't support it or anything like that, there's no support behind it, what is the point of that tech? It's as simple as that. It's I'm gonna quote this, but Connect for Xbox, it was amazing, right? Amazing tech, still is amazing tech to this day. But now Microsoft aren't actually gonna keep producing it anymore. Why? Because the people they actually thought would use it aren't, and that's just the reality of things. And I think that's the same thing with these ICOs. You see something like IOTA right now, and they're making great moves. They're getting support by Bosch. Bosch are buying into them, and that support is being strength and given a higher coin value.
Yeah, I agree. And also, as well, one analogy that might help illustrate what we're talking about is like Samsung versus Apple. So iPhones versus Samsung Galaxies. Samsung Galaxies have better technology, like as a fact, in terms of hardware especially. Their hardware is a lot better, and they do, and software as well at the same time. Android's always updating their software, and it's always improving a lot. Whereas Apple focuses more on marketing and just looking great and being easy to use, which is great. And there's a market for both of those. But just because Samsung has better tech, it doesn't mean it's going to sell more or it's going to be more expensive or have a higher value. And those are just the things you need to bear in mind. If you look in your everyday life, if you look around, you might see that most people are spending a lot more money on like iPhones and stuff than they are on a Samsung. Even with the difference in tech. But when it comes to cryptocurrencies, one thing I spoke to someone on Twitter the other day, and I posted something talking about how when price drops, everyone just basically disappears, and no one wants to invest. But when price is going really, really high, everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon, and that's the wrong time to be buying. And he was just like, yeah, well, it's not our fault, it's not crazy, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, it is crazy, and at the end of the day, if you only see value in price, then you're going to lose money at the end of the day, because price isn't always reflective of value. Price is just reflective of the perceived value at that specific time, but not the overall long-term value of the coin and how it's stretched. You've got to take other factors. Price is of course a factor, but you have to take in other factors like the tech and how tangible it is, how usable it is. Because like Bitcoin, if the networks remains the same way it is now and nothing changes, and we move into a cryptocurrency space, and let's say, for example, we want to start using cryptocurrencies for everyday transactions, Bitcoin is not going to work. It will not work at all. So just don't look at price in terms of that alone. It's to determine value, basically.
Yeah, it definitely has to be like a bit of both. And I think that's why Ethereum is doing so well, because the applications are crazy in terms of what you can actually do with it. I do feel like stuff like Litecoin and stuff will start to actually get a bit more market kind of cap and kind of actually control the market a bit more if Bitcoin doesn't move fast enough.
Well, I did hear that right now Litecoin, I didn't hear, I saw the chart. Litecoin has been increasing in the amount of transactions it's been doing recently, and it's surpassed Bitcoin in the amount of transactions that it's doing at the moment.
There's actually a good reason behind it. And see, people who don't understand the tech or know about the tech and only care about the money are going to realize now that they're losing money. What a lot of people who understand the tech are doing is they know that Bitcoin's network is slow. They know that it costs a lot to transfer money to different exchanges. So what they're doing is a lot of currency exchanges trade Bitcoin. They trade Litecoin.
Yeah.
So they changed their Bitcoin to Litecoin. They get their Litecoin wallet from the exchange and move it to another exchange in Litecoin.
Yeah.
Get another exchange fast and cheap.
Yeah.
And then change it back to whatever they want.
Yeah, sure.
That's using the tech to your benefit, and that's why there's more transactions using Litecoin than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And again, this is why you should understand these coins and understand the tech, because you can save so much. I'm talking hundreds and maybe thousands, depending on how much you're transferring.
You can save money and make money. It's just in your benefit to know about these things. It's not just we're not just a bunch of tech geeks just banging on about the tech for no reason. It's important for you to know. If this was any other investment, you wouldn't be brushing off any of the factors. If I was telling you to open up a shop, you wouldn't just want to know how much money the shop's making. You'd want to know what it sells, where it's located. You wouldn't just want to know like the basic price value of it. So you've got to approach it in the same way you would any other investment, really. Don't play around with it. Don't just ignore certain things, and don't be lazy about it as well. I know it's long sometimes to read white papers. I've been there where I've looked into coin, looks interesting, and go into white paper, and I've been like, oh my god, most of the time I have to read a white paper once or twice, and the second time I'll take down notes just to break it down a bit, and that's something I suggest people doing as well. Obviously, look to other resources as well to help you understand the things you're reading in the white paper. But if you break it down like that, read it once or twice before you make your investment, it could save you a lot of money doing that, really. So I'd definitely suggest doing that. And it would doing that would help you basically plan things. Looking at it long term, for example, if you were Bitcoin, you don't see it having a future. So you might have some Bitcoin and you think, okay, I don't see it having a future. By this time or by this level of profit, I'm out. Or if it gets down and I'm at this level of loss, I'm out, basically. And that could help you. And which brings us to our next topic, the importance of having an exit strategy. This is probably one of the biggest issues in the cryptocurrency market today, especially with this hodl culture we have in the cryptocurrency market. So the cryptocurrency market, hodl just means hold on to coins, just keep holding on to them, and with no end, basically. They say hodl, but they don't tell you where to hodl to. and you've got to figure it out for yourself. You know what? I always say the cryptocurrency market is not for short-term investing, but at the end of the day, it's not my choice if you want to do that. And, you know, people can be profitable doing that, to be honest. Like, it's just a lot more risky. And for my risk appetite, it's not for me, but it could be for someone else. Even when trading Forex, a lot of people trade short term. For me, that seems completely crazy, but some people make it work for them. So, you know, as long as you have your exit strategy, I can't really argue with how you want to invest. But if you just go in there blindly, don't want to hodl, or you don't even know if you want to hodl, and you just have it there, then you'll just it's like walking into, I don't know, going to war and having no weapons, basically.
You need to have a plan.
You need to have a plan, yeah. Basically, going into a fight, go to a boxing match, you're supposed to fight this guy. He's been training for months and months. He's got his boxing gloves, he's got everything ready, he's got his gum shield in, and you just walk in your jeans, t-shirt, no boxing gloves, no training. You're gonna get beaten up. So you need to be prepared. It's just it's simple, and it seems like common sense. We're saying it now. You might think, oh, yeah, obviously you gotta have exit strategy, but how many of you actually do have an exit strategy? How many people do you know that have an exit strategy out there in terms of their cryptocurrency? Have you written it down? Do you have it even in your head? Oh, okay, when it gets to this level, I'm going to get out. If it either way, whether you're in profit or a loss, I think it's extremely vital, especially you know, come from a forex trading background. You'd have your take profit level, which is where price would automatically close when it gets to a profit. And you can do it in a cryptocurrency market with some platforms. Price will actually automatically close when it gets to a certain level, and price will automatically like if you were at a certain level of loss, it will automatically close the trade, and you know, you cut your losses basically. And obviously for something like holding on to coins, if you have coins in a wallet and you're trying to hold on to them long term, you don't have the option to, you know, set a take profit on a platform like that. So you need to like write it down for yourself or think about it, have it like on a plan, maybe an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. Yeah, that's what I'd suggest. I don't know. You guys have anything to say about it?
Well, I'll just be short and sweet in this and say basically I like to think of this as kind of having a business, and simply I would like to come out of take money out of the market once I've broke even, but I kind of will invest in cryptos that I actually believe in, so I know they're gonna kind of go up. Once I get to the level where I've pretty much made my money back, that's when I'll take my initial investment out. Then thereon I'll kind of be making free money basically. Yeah. It's simple as that, really.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
But yeah, so that's kind of how I approach it. But then from then onwards, it's kind of just doing that over and over again. But you know, understanding the ICO and understanding how the market's kind of going, obviously helps to build up an exit plan. Because naturally, if you don't have the information, you know, you can have all the equipment. So you can have your boxing gloves, you can have, you know, your manager, and you can go to the fight. But if you haven't trained all the way up until the point and know everything about what you're about to experience, then you're still going to lose. So it's kind of having all of that. And I think the final thing other than that is kind of being aware of, you know, there's a fear of missing out, and pump and dumps and the rest of it. So if I look at, for instance, Bitcoin, it's going up crazy, right? And I think to myself, I should get involved. But then when do I feel like exiting? Like, you know, I could have waited all the way to a point where it got to like 19,000, 20,000. When they said, well, yeah, exit then, that's perfect. I'd have made so much money, for instance, if I got in much lower. But then if I got in at 20,000 and then I've lost bare money, like, do I exit quick? Like, it's those types of things you have to think about. Yeah. When you're looking at it. And the only way you can do that is actually knowing the market and looking at the ICO. Yeah,
like, in terms of an exit plan, like, and how I go about it, I'm constantly thinking of them. I've always got it at the back of my mind. Like every so often in a week, I have a check at the chart of my holdings and how they're doing on the charts, just to give have a feel around on how everything it is. I expect the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. Usually, like, for my mid to long term trades, like, I really believe in them. It's not just for profit. And I do, as like similar to what Courtney says, like sometimes I take some profit out, so I've locked in that profit.
Yeah.
And basically for the rest of the holding, I'm relatively comfy, meaning that it would need to drop a sizable portion for me to lose any money.
Yeah.
I possibly may be in profit if everything just drops,
Yeah.
because I've already locked in that profit.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a key thing to look out for. But yeah, I usually just tend to have a check at the charts. I have an idea of where I might want to exit. Maybe like 100%, 200%. Like usually I don't tend to take it all out at once. I normally like sell small portions, or sell upwards or sell down. But yeah, like that's usually for my mid to long term holds. But people who don't have exit plans, please do. Like for example, if you want to change, you have an altcoin and you want to change it into fiat. Now this is something you need to take into account. Like we were talking about this earlier today. So say you're in Ripple's a bit too easy. Let's say what's been doing really well. Tron, perfect example. So Tron's only in certain exchanges like Binance, for example, and you've made a healthy profit on Tron, even though it's going down now. You know what? I'm gonna change this into fiat, and I'm gonna buy some new Jordans or whatever the hell you want to do. And you so you want to change it to a you want to exchange your Tron to different. To fiat. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to exchange it to Ethereum or Bitcoin or Litecoin, a coin, change it to a exchange what allows cryptocurrency to fiat transactions, and then you'll get your money. But also you need to take into account what fiat are you changing into, and you have to check the price of let's say the USD or the euro or the pound. These are things to take into account. Also, you've got to take into account, like, as we said before, what a lot of people are doing are changing over their currencies from Bitcoin, like, they're not using Bitcoin to change, to do transactions. They're using Litecoin. Again, that something to take into account, because all of these decisions are going to affect your profit.
Yeah, they will.
And, like, now, if you think about this, and you think beforehand, like, say for example that Ethereum is is dropping a lot, and Litecoin is going on an insane bull run. What you could even do is maybe you would sacrifice some of that transaction time, get Ethereum for a sale, like basically a sell, and because you're just using it for its technology. Again, people need to realize that, and you're transferring it over. You're getting more money from you're getting more Tron to Ethereum than Tron to Litecoin, let's say. These are things to definitely take note of.
Definitely, and all the things that Andy said. Imagine you didn't have them, and you got to the point where you wanted to basically cash out, and then you basically didn't have that plan. You would be stuck. You'd be thinking, okay, what do I do now? Or you'd be panicking. But at the end of the day, this isn't financial advice. So, you know, guys, you do whatever you want to do. This is just what we do. And, you know, so, but at the
don't
end
spend your money on Jordans like that.
yeah, don't spend your money on Jordans either. Well, you can if you want to. You know? But yeah, so yeah, it's totally up to you guys. It's not financial advice at all. But, you know, we'd always suggest having a good exit strategy, to be honest. It's just common sense, really. It is really just common sense. You know, we're not geniuses, we're not super geniuses, just like, and we're not gods or, you know, or something like that. We're just yeah, something like that. We're just guys who have been through these things. We've been through these problems, and so we've learned from it. And a lot of you haven't. So you know, we're just passing down, you know, our experiences. But yeah, that's it. Just have an exit strategy, please, guys. Otherwise, you're gonna end up losing money, and then you're gonna start blaming the cryptocurrency market, and it's gonna make the whole market look bad. You know, so yeah, be safe out there, guys. Not just for scams, but for, you know, just with yourself and with your own investing. But yeah, 2018 is going to be a great year for us because, and for you guys as well, because we're starting up a Patreon page. And in that Patreon page, we're going to be offering you guys chances to win some cryptocurrency. We'll be giving you out technical analysis, breakdowns of white papers of the tech, making it easy and digestible for you guys. You know, all sorts of things we'll be giving away. We'll have, like, you know, specified group chats for certain patrons where we just help you with anything you absolutely want to help with, even Skype calls, you know, live sessions, things like that. Just giving the opportunity for people who want it to get extra help, and obviously in return we'll obviously be compensated for that, because obviously we can't be giving out all this time and effort, and you know, it just won't be viable for us. But this gives the opportunity for us to be able to do the things we want to do, to be able to give you guys more, and you know, just get on with our lives. So yeah, 2018 Blockchain Bandits Patreon, website soon to come as well. There'll be different tiers, different ways, different amounts of cryptocurrency you can win depending on what tier you're in. It starts from $1. So if you're in Britain, that's about, I don't know, 70 pence or 60 pence or something like that. If you're in the US, it's just $1. So you could get in from just that, and then it goes upwards from there. But you know, if you just want to try it out, you just do the $1 version, and you know, you could still win prizes from that, from the $1 version. So yeah, get involved, guys. You'll be hearing a lot of it from us in the near future. We'll be updating you with updates for the Patreon. But yeah, look out for that. So yeah, is that everything?
Yeah. I just want to say also, like, from all of us guys, like, obviously it's been a few months now since we started it.
Yeah.
And just everything has just done really well.
Yeah,
like, the community's grown, and like, we've really enjoyed doing what we're doing.
Yeah,
we've heard a lot of, like, good stories of a lot of people. Like, we've helped a lot of people get into the space.
That's one of the most satisfying things about
it.
You know, when people come up to you and they're like, "Oh yeah, thanks for this info, blah blah blah." Like, I looked into this, I looked into that, and then, you know, I profited from it, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm happy for you, blah blah. Or I was about to do this and I was about to do that, but I heard you guys talk about it and I stopped, and you know, I saved myself from getting scammed or something like that. You know, it's kind of it's a good feeling to be appreciated.
It's such a good feeling.
It is a good feeling to be appreciated like that. So we want it to carry on, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'd really appreciate you guys supporting us on the Patreon.
We want to make this thing grow.
Yeah, we want to grow it. The space is gonna grow, and we want to provide a balance. You know, because obviously there's gonna be people out there who are scamming and that sort of thing, taking advantage of people. But there needs to be something on the other side that's helping people as well, because I think, especially as retail investors, you're already at a disadvantage most of the time, and you need as much backing as you can in terms of, you know, understanding the technology and things like that. You know, it won't be financial advice, I'm afraid, but you know, it should help you guys getting on with the things you want to get on with. So yeah, we'd really appreciate the support on that, guys. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Yeah, thanks for listening. It was the first podcast of 2018. There'll be many more to come. Hope you enjoyed what we spoke about. If you liked it, please leave a like, and if you didn't like it, leave a dislike, and please let us know why you didn't like it, and hopefully we can improve. But yeah, thanks guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, guys, Happy New Year. I hope your New Year's resolutions will be to learn more about blockchain. Take it easy.
Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. See you later.